And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene here at the Wee Street Ice Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the home of the Tulsa Ice Oilers. I want to begin, though, recognizing a couple of people who lost, great friends of mine. Howard Twilley, former TU All-American receiver, runner-up the Heisman Trophy, and, of course, a Miami Dolphin, won 2 Super Bowls as part of their undefeated team with the Dolphins. He passed away, as did Gil Cloud, longtime athletic administrator. 50 years he spent time with the athletic departments in different areas, including here in Tulsa. Also is my co-host on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Both of you certainly missed. Rest in peace, fellas. Okay, here's this week's show lineup for you. It's high school basketball state tournament time. They'll be at the Big House and celebrate the 60th and final season. Joining us will be OSSAA Director Brian Lester. Talk about the history of the Big House and the high school tournament. Dean Blevins retires. Longtime sportscaster with Channel 9 in Oklahoma City. And of course, an outstanding high school athlete at Norman High School and with the University of Oklahoma football Sooners. Some great memories with him to look back at games at Nebraska and Ohio State that Dean played a big part in. Mick Wilson, our Tulsa Public Schools Athletic Director, will be on set here to talk about the winter sports and give a tribute to his former boss, the late Gil Cloud. FC Tulsa professional soccer team kicks off its season this weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll have Lamar Batista, their defender, will be on the show with us to preview the season this year. And Dale Day, of course, from Remington Report, Oklahoma City, with the latest on horse racing there. But first, let's take a look at our Tulsa World Hot Topics. 2024-25 college basketball regular season comes to an end this week before conference tournament play. The Big 12 tournament, again in Kansas City, is March 11th to the 15th. The SEC tournament in Nashville, Tennessee, March 12th to 16th. Sunday the 16th is the Selection Sunday. NCAA tournament field of 68 teams is set at 5 p.m. on CBS. They'll start playing March 18th and 19th, the first 4 play-in games in Dayton, Ohio. And here's the rest of the NCAA basketball schedule with the first round March 21st, second round Sweet 16, the Elite 8, then the Final 4 April 5th, the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, the NCAA championship game April the 7th, again Alamo Dome in San Antonio. We lost another Oklahoma sports icon, the death of legendary OU baseball coach Enos Seymour. Passed away on February 23rd in Noble, Oklahoma at age 93. Enos, the winningest coach in OU baseball history, 851 wins in 22 seasons, including 4 Big 8 titles, 5 consecutive trips to the College World Series. Enos Seymour, by the way, was just voted in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame to be inducted posthumously on August the 5th. Oklahoma City Thunder opened its March NBA season with games Sunday at San Antonio, Monday at home against the Rockets. OKC has the best record in the West. They begin the week with a 10.5 game lead in the Western Conference. The NBA playoffs start on April the 19th. NBA Championship Best of 7 series could run as wide as June 22nd. Wrestling fans, this year weekend, Tulsa downtown BOK Center is hosting the 2025 Big 12 Wrestling Championships this Saturday and Sunday, March 8th and 9th. Oklahoma State, one of the favorites, coming off a 13-1 dual season under their first-year head coach, David Taylor. Tulsa Ice Oilers hockey team started in March in second place in the East Conference in Hockey League's Mountain Division. This past Saturday, March the 1st, the Oilers hosted a special doubleheader, a college bedlam rivalry with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Sooners dominated 11-1. Then the Oilers took the ice and beat Utah 3-2. That gave them the point total that already surpasses last year's total. There's still 17 games left to play. Coming up, March Madness in the Big House, right after we get back on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Baseball, fireworks, food, family. It's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
There are 483 high schools in the state of Oklahoma. 480 of them play basketball. And all those teams dream of one thing: getting to the state tournament in Oklahoma City and playing in the Jim Norwick Arena, or better known, the Big House. It's a very special year. This is the 60th and final year of the Big House. To be replaced next year by a new arena. It's going to be quite an event there, as they have in the next 2 weeks. All the classes will be there to play their high school basketball tournaments. A lot of gold balls handed out. Talk about the schedule there and about some of the sports history of the Big House. We talked to the OSSAA's executive assistant, Brian Lester.
It's unbelievable. You know, we've been playing basketball there for 60 years. I know they've had wrestling events, all kinds of events there, but high school basketball, that's kind of the mecca, especially for the small school people. B through 4A has such a long history of some great games out there. And
interesting, the Daily Oklahoma did a survey years ago talking about the top facilities in Oklahoma for sports, and they had number one, Southern Hills and Gallagher Arena, Oklahoma State, Owen Field at OU, and then the Big House in Oklahoma City. And now, of course, it's 60th final year. It seems only appropriate that every one of these state championship basketball high school tournaments will be final there at the Big House.
Yeah, you know, it kind of came to fruition last year. The basketball advisory committee talked about, hey, when the new arena opens, what's the possibility of playing all of our classes there? And then somehow it got brought up, hey, all of our contracts were up as far as where we were going to be located for this year. And Miss Castle was like, you think we could pull off playing every classification there? And I said, yeah, it would make a couple of long weeks, but we could probably do that. So we surveyed the coaches and asked them what they thought. And we got not quite 90%, but high 80 percentile that the coaches thought it would be a great idea to have everybody in the same place playing for a championship at the arena.
Well, that Jim Norwick Arena, again, we know it better as the Big House, opened in 1965 and built, they said, at the cost of just $2.4 million. Now the new one next to it's going up. I assume it'll cost a little more than $2.4 million. Talk about the new facility ready for next season.
So we actually did a walkthrough probably about 6 months ago, and you could kind of see the bones of it. It doesn't quite seat as many. It has maybe about 7,000, a little over 7,000 basketball seating, but it's going to be more of a basketball type atmosphere. It's not going to be as spread out. The people are going to be a little bit closer to the floor. The seating doesn't go quite as high. It's just a little bit more of an intimate. I think the small school people are going to love it. We actually get to do another tour today. They said they have most of the seats in. So we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a special place. It's bittersweet because the Big House has been just so many memories and just an awesome experience for kids. But I think this one's going to have all the bells and whistles. They've got, standing around tables with the iPhone chargers, all that good stuff. So it's going to be nice for the kids and just something new. But it'll definitely be bittersweet because the memories of the Big House are just awesome.
And Brian, you have some personal memories. I think you've coached at the Big House, the state tournament play, right?
Yeah, so I've got a few memories. My first one, of course, is 2015. My son had the opportunity to play there, lost a semifinal game to one of the Tulsa McLean, actually, in overtime, and it was such a fantastic experience. And you always want to win, of course, but just the opportunity to see my son get to play on the Big House floor, and just that's what you want. And then in 2021, when we made it, that was the first opportunity I had to coach in the Big House. We had made the state tournament prior to that, but we had always played at a sub-site and not been fortunate enough to win and move on to the Big House. But just walking out in 2021, it was kind of the year after COVID. They had limited seating, but just standing on the floor, just looking up, that's an experience that was just unbelievable for me. And then, of course, we were fortunate to win it that year as well. So lifting that gold ball trophy or seeing all my girls do that, it was just so special. So a very special place to me. And then working here, just getting to see all the kids' experience of doing those things. Those things to me, I'll never forget.
Well, let's talk about the schedule now. It's going to be a busy, busy schedule for you guys. All the classes in this week for state championship. A lot of gold balls ready to be handed out.
Yeah, so we start tomorrow with so we'll have Class A, everyone plays all their quarterfinal games there. We'll start at 9 in the morning and we'll run to about 10:30 or so, and we'll have 8 games a day. Wednesday is Class B, Thursday is Class 2A, and then on Friday we'll have A and 2A semifinals in the arena. B goes to UConn, and then everybody plays their championship on Saturday. And then next week, we start Monday right off the bat with 5A. And then Tuesday is 6A. And then Wednesday is 4A. Thursday is 3A. And then we have the semifinals for 5A and 6A. They'll play their semifinals Thursday, Friday at UConn. And then we have 8 straight games starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. And it'll probably end about 11:30 or so at night. 8 championship games with 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A boys and girls. It's going to be a special day. It'll be long. Don't get a whole lot of sleep these next 2 weeks, but man, it's exciting being there. Just front row, get to see everything.
And what's the final night for the big house, the championship run there?
Saturday, I believe that's March 15th. I think it'll March 15th, Saturday, it'll be a bittersweet moment. Of course, it'll be like you take a deep breath that it's over, but knowing that it's going to be the last one, there'll probably be some tears shed.
Well, Brian, before I let you go, we have to ask on the east side here with the new arena coming up. Do you ever see any the high school championship games being played here in Tulsa, as it has in the past, of course?
Well, I know that when we did this, we have a 1-year contract to have everybody down here. Miss Castle, who oversees the 5A, 6A, she actually just sent out an RFP to some of those, schools on the east side or places on the east side that are capable of hosting an event like that. So we're not opposed to playing in Tulsa. If one of those RFPs come back and it's the best choice, I'm sure that the 5A, 6A people wouldn't mind going back there as well.
Well, Brian, you've seen a lot of changes in your days, of course, and just looking back, my gosh, OSSAA reported that 900 student athletes transferred this past year, and of course, NIL is kind of seeping into high school athletics. What's the state of high school athletics nationally, but more importantly here in Oklahoma?
Well, I think nationally, with what the colleges have done, I know that we're seeing nationally everybody going to something similar. Given a one-time move, or there's a lot of states that their legislature has basically just gotten involved and just said, "Hey, we're going to give kids the opportunity to play when they change schools." Here in Oklahoma, we like where we're at with the one-time move. No one likes kids changing schools for athletic purposes, but the schools, I think, felt that if we were to institute a policy such as this, it could get to the point where possibly it was, hey, wherever they move, we didn't want to see something like that. So I think we're in a good state. I think overall, yeah, we've had, last year we have probably about twice as much, maybe 3 times as much movement as far as changing schools and filing for hardships, those things. But we'll see what happens. I think we're in a good place. I think, we kind of met the legislature in the middle, and as opposed to, hey, let's just open it up to anytime you change schools. Hey, well, the kid has a one-time move to see if something else is better. So we'll see where that goes.
Brian Lester with the OSSAA. Brian, take a deep breath. Try to get some rest maybe on the 16th of March. It's going to be a great time at the big house. I'll look forward to being down there with you guys.
All right. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
I'm looking right back with Dean Blevins, retiring at KWTV, Channel 9 Sports Director. A lot of old stories with my friend Dean Blevins straight ahead here on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
It's that time again, Tulsa. Your Tulsa Oilers indoor football team is back. Season kicks off Saturday, April 19th at the BOK Center, where your Oilers look to take down the San Antonio Gunslingers. Let's pack the house and start some ruckus. Season tickets start at just $9 per month with all home games on Saturdays. Experience the lightning-fast, heart-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Saturday, April 19th. Join the Oilers action.
You know, health's great, family's great, life's great. I've been incredibly fortunate to have enjoyed and survived working in sports media 41 years, last 28 of them right here at News 9. After extending one-year contracts 5 times, I decided months ago to hang it up, effective July the 1st.
That was KWTV Channel 9 Oklahoma City sports director for so many years, Dean Blevins, announcing his retirement at the end of June. We had a chance to talk with Dean via Zoom from his home in Oklahoma City area there. Talked about his career, what a high school career it was. He was a Norman High School Tiger, and he was simply the best there was. He was the Oklahoma Athlete of the Year in his high school year. Then he went to the University of Oklahoma, quarterback with the Sooners for 4 seasons, with 4 Big 8 championships and 2 national championships. Dean then got into sportscasting, did it at a high level too. He was on the air at ESPN, ABC, and CBS. But the main thing was Oklahoma City. Had a chance to leave, but stayed right there in Oklahoma City, KWTV Channel 9. He was there on the air for 28 years. So Dean, thanks for joining us. Thanks for all you've done for Oklahoma sports. And again, we have to ask you, your favorite sport in high school?
Oh, no question about it. It was basketball. I mean, basketball was something you could play year round. And, you know, football games are great. Not always the practices. But I was given a basketball when I had 2 older brothers who were great athletes, and we lived in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where my dad ended up, I guess he baptized Bill Clinton down there and preached to his wife, to his mother. But anyway, in Hot Springs, when I was 3 years old, they gave me a basketball, and I was infatuated with it. I was dribbling outside in the cold rain, and my mom said, come in. I never did. I got pneumonia, and my mom cried for weeks about that. So it started at that age, and my dad put a little slab of concrete back there when I was 5, and I started shooting, and I was obsessed with it. And so basketball, no doubt, is my favorite.
I got to OU 74 to 77, only 4 Big 8 championships, 2 national championships. But the 2 games I want to talk about, remember the most, that was up there freezing my butt off in 1976 at Nebraska. Talk about that incredible hook and lateral play. Steve Rose, Elvis Peacock to pull that game out in the final seconds at Nebraska.
Well, it was the beginning of Sooner magic. It was a game where we had to upset Nebraska in Lincoln on a cold, wet, rainy, windy day. And of course, you would be going into the win in the fourth quarter. So we were struggling finding offense and backed up on our own 10-yard line. And Switzer calls Woody Shepard's number, who hadn't played a down in the game, pitched it to him on a traditional wishbone option. He takes it around the right corner and throws it 40 yards to Steve Rhodes, who catches it at the 50. And 3 plays later on 4th and 20, I head in with 317 stopping lateral, Chris. And, with all the inclement weather issues, you go do what you got to do, but it sure wasn't great weather to be throwing the ball in. But rodeo, Steve Rhodes ran a stop route, 10-yard route, curl, hit him, and he in stride caught Elvis Peacock, a 9.4 sprinter in the 100-yard dash down the left sideline of Memorial Stadium there in Lincoln, and hushed the crowd. That's why you played, to go before hushed stadiums. And he took it down to the 1. We scored the play later and won that, and cost OSU a chance at a Big 8 championship.
The next year, 1977, I'll never forget the one in the shoe at Columbus, Ohio State. We jumped out to a big lead early in that game, 20-0, and then injuries hit everybody. But you got in there and saved the game in the final drive there to set up the Uwe von Schamann field goal. What a contest!
That's interesting. In fact, I hear from Uwe, talking with him today, so we're still in contact with each other. But no, that was as big as it was when Baker and those guys went up and pulled off the upset. Ours was a minor upset, but we were really loaded that year. So we ended up throwing just enough passes to be able to rally. But the thing about the 1977 game, Chris, which, by the way, in 2015, it was ranked by OU fans as the most exciting Oklahoma football game in history. It might have been supplanted with some of these cats here recently, but that's what it was to them. And it was that way because we were trailing by 8 points and hit a couple of passes, got us down. We score, and we go for 2 on the same play that we scored on, a pitch to Peacock. They stopped it, and we onside kick. And so Uwe onside kicks it, and everybody that has worn crimson in that era of time has claimed that they recovered that. But I'm going to say that my roommate Lee Hover recovered it. And so we had 50 seconds to go put Uwe in position. And it was another windy, cold day up there. And we threw 2 passes on that particular drive to Rhodes that helped set it up. And from 41 yards, my God, was it right down the middle. And that was the most amazing comeback win. And that was, Woody's play is considered part of Sooner Magic. I think more so because it's the flea flicker, and because it's that type of play. I think that's more remembered as the first Sooner Magic play. But regardless, it was a magical day, and there was never a feeling like that during my tenure at OU.
I was reading Barry Tremble's column on you, nice column honoring your career there at KWTV. And I had no idea. They said your sportscasting career, actually, you got the bug for sportscasting here in Tulsa with my old buddy Bob Carpenter doing a game at TU.
Yeah, I was dying to get in the business. I'd spent 4.5 years in oil and gas, and things were really good in that business at that time, and things had gone well, but I just wasn't satisfied. And I had a journalism degree, and I'd grown up listening to Skip Carey. Hello, everybody. This is Skip Carey from the Omni in Atlanta, and tonight Pistol Pete Maravich hosting Dave DeBuscher and the New York Knickerbockers. But I listened to him and got broadcasting in my blood. And so I found a way to just get a trial and call half of the game at, I guess it was the old convention center. Kirsty Hawkins, Dick Versace called half of the game with Bob Carpenter as the very capable play-by-play guy. I run to the telephone, Chris, and I call my parents. My dad's a Baptist minister, remember? And I said, Dad, Mom, Dad, I've never been this euphoric in my life. This is better than, and you can imagine a 3-letter word that you might use. Well, I used that to my 70-year-old father and mother to explain how excited I was. And that was the beginning of it. And the next thing was a sports scene with Bill Land and Mark Savage.
Well, Everybody wants to know, though, why now, Dean? Why after 28 years at Channel 9? Why now?
Well, I'm old enough to go now. I want to. When you have a serious job, it hovers over you 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't an atomic bomb. I mean, it's not. There are more important things in this world. But when you have a job like this, you're responsible 24/7 for sports, getting things out on time, etc. And I've had enough of it. I've had a wonder for me. I've had everything I ever wanted. I wanted to work at the network, and I got 14 years in there with ABC, CBS, and ESPN. And every other job that I've had along the way. I was with Coach Switzer down in Dallas. Had a chance to, I'm sure you had chances too, Chris, to be the sports director down at 2 stations in Dallas and 1 in Denver. Turned all that down to stay in Oklahoma with my family. We had finally had a son. And so it all just kind of worked out well. And I will add one last 3-letter word that was not anywhere close to the meaning of the other one. The SEC, I'll say this, it didn't exactly lure me to try to stay in the business much longer. NIL and SEC has made it not very much fun.
Well, we have another segment coming up with Dean Blevins to talk more about NIL and SEC. We'll take this break on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Be right back with Dean.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center, the ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family-owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on-site to assure the perfect fit, so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
Baseball, fireworks, food, family. It's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
We're back with Dean Blevins here on Oklahoma Sports Scene. And Dean, let's get up to date on how things have changed in this game of college football, NIL, portal, and of course now the SEC. Your thoughts on the changes?
Well, the great Oklahoma teams could compete in the SEC and win. Bob Stoops won a lot more than he lost, and Bob only had 1 national championship teams, but his were competitive. So Oklahoma, on an even playing field, Chris, can compete with any school in the nation to be the big blue blood. But when you start paying players $2 million or whatever the numbers are, Texas, there was a reason that Oklahoma was on top of Texas for the better part of 20 years. And then when NIL, when you could pay players, that Texas and Oklahoma flipped. And Texas is now on top, and they're the preseason choice. So the state of college football, it's another reason that I'm out of it. It's just no fun. And I was talking to Curtis Lofton, the former general manager of OU's program down there, and he was lamenting a lot of things that are very, very difficult. And I don't know, the future with money being as big a factor as it is, It doesn't look promising for schools like Oklahoma. Things must change and must change in a big way, and I don't see them changing that way.
And Dean, you and I are not used to this. We suffered through the worst college football seasons combined for OU, OSU, and Tulsa since the 1920s. And we're not used to that. That was hard to handle this past season.
Yeah, it really was, especially when we do our Sunday night show that you guys get up in Tulsa and statewide, the Blitz.
Right.
The great John Holcomb comes over and does it with us. And it was just a very, very long year. Toby Rowland has since joined, and he's going to be replacing me, Chris. You probably knew that, but he's succeeding me in 4 months when I actually hang it up. Anyway, you're speaking the truth there for sure.
All right. It's also been a very tough college basketball season as well.
Yeah, it has. And I feel for Porter. I'm not close with Porter Moser. Don't dislike him. But I did ask him multiple times on the Blitz, and he wasn't able to come up. And I just was dumbfounded because we've had every football and basketball coach in the last 25 years at OU and OSU and Tulsa too come on the Blitz. And Porter wasn't able to work it in. So maybe I have held a little bit of a grudge, but I've tried to be objective. And I do say, Chris, if you don't have any NIL, they even have less NIL money than Oklahoma has had in football. And so he's got no chance. So he's had to, with his 4 teams, he's had to start from scratch every stinking year and just get the kids that they can pay enough, and his reputation's pretty good. So they've been able to get kids in to be just competitive enough, almost. But you can't get over the hump, and it goes back, Chris, to paying players and NIL, and I just that's why I'm sick of it. Good people like him and good programs like OU and OSU are in a suffering mode right now, and it's very difficult to win. Particularly, you touched on the SEC.
I think too, Dean, it just drives me nuts, and I just pretty much self-imposed these ridiculous multi-million, multi-year buyouts to get rid of a coach. It's just unbelievable.
Well, social media exacerbated the demands of the fan, who have always been tough on head coaches and coordinators and quarterbacks, offensive coordinators. But with social media as ever present as it is now, the demands are even more. And it is crazy how they go about it. Texas A&M prints money so they can fire their guy down there and bring in a good coach. Joe Castiglione, God love him, a good friend and a just tremendous athletic director. But I think he made a major mistake, behind on NIL for one thing, but the other was extending Brent last year. You know, they had a 10-win season and extending him off of that. And I know Brent would have put a full court press of selling him on why you have to do that to keep recruits, et cetera. But I think Joe will look back on that as being a very big mistake. And it looms over them now. How many can they win this year, Chris? Michigan's coming in, and they're a much better team than they were at the beginning of the year. That's going to be very, very difficult. And then you have the same teams that you played last year with reverse home teams. So, you know, the over-under in Vegas, last year it was 7.5. This year it'll probably be 6.5, and it'll be hard to take the over for some people.
Yeah, and I saw the Oklahoma State numbers like 5.5 or something too. So
yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Well, on the bright side, though, how about the Oklahoma City Thunder? You ready for our first NBA title?
Yeah, and Chris, they've got a shot. Now, can they keep it going? I think the number one key is the health of Chet Holmgren. This guy is a probable, I'm going to say if he stays healthy, a probable Hall of Famer. He's definitely an all-league guy for his whole career. He's that good, and he's that good at rim protection and a lot of the other things. And when they brought the other 7-1 center, Hartenstein in, Now, Oklahoma City has gone for a team that was vulnerable against Dallas in the playoffs last year without enough bigs. Now they've got two who can really go. So I think if Chet can stay healthy enough, now he's got a sprained ankle. If he can get out there and they can mesh, those two, and the team can mesh with those two, they're going to have a great chance. Chris, you aren't down in as close to this franchise as I am.
Right.
You would be blown away with how classy the ownership group, Sam Presti, Mark Daignault, and the players are. You would love it if you saw them on a daily basis.
Bradley, I want to congratulate you on going to be inducted coming up in May in the Oklahoma Journalism Hall of Fame. Well deserved and certainly well earned.
I'm just following you around, Chris. If I know everything you get in, and I'm just kind of begging. No, it was nice. I held out long enough, and they finally called me. It's a great honor, and it's been a great career. And Chris, you've been a guy that I've looked up to for so long, for so many reasons. You and Becky and the whole just the relationship. You've been one of the greatest guys and sportscasters in the history of this state, at least. And I appreciate your friendship.
Dean, appreciate you, buddy. And again, I can only assume that Channel 9 is giving you a multi-million-dollar buyout to leave Channel 9.
Well, if they don't, I'm going to see if Castiglione will.
He probably will. Dean Blevins, retiring KTVI, Channel 9, Oklahoma City. Great career, great friend. Dean, wish you all the very best. Thanks for joining us on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Thank you.
All right, we'll come right back with Mick Wilson, TPS Athletic Director, after this break.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family-owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories in our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on-site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition. Joining me now on Oklahoma Sports Scene set is Mick Wilson. He is the Tulsa Public Schools Executive Director for Secondary School Activities and Athletics. I just call him the AD. Sad time for us this past week. We lost a great friend. You lost a great mentor, a former boss. The legendary Gil Crowd passed away at age 78.
He did, and I tell you what, he leaves quite a legacy, Chris. As you know, he was very impactful, not only here in Tulsa, but statewide and regionally. I mean, being in Iowa and Arkansas and the different places that Gil traveled throughout his career, he's left a lasting imprint at all stops. And the one thing that probably I take away the most is no matter where he stopped and what he did, he always did what's best for kids.
You know, we were at the funeral Saturday, which was very appropriate, held at the Will Rogers Gymnasium, where he was an alum, had his old football jersey number 61 up there in front and stuff. And as I looked around, what, 300 people or so?
There was probably over 300 people there. We had planned for between 300 to 500, and I think we filled all the chairs down on the floor, and we even had some folks sitting up in the bleachers. So it was a great turnout, and people really paid their respects for a good guy.
And as I looked around, it seemed to me like all 9 of our Tulsa Public Schools athletic departments were somehow represented: coaches, athletic directors, people like that, principals even.
Well, and Dr. Johnson attended; she was there.
Nice,
so we had a lot of people from the district there that respected Gil and what all he did and what he stood for. Again. When you act in the best interest of kids, people appreciate that and they respect it.
And I understand there is a big push, and I'm right there with it too, to rename that Will Rogers Football Stadium, but Gil had a big part in getting built after him, Gil Cloud Stadium.
He did, and those conversations are taking place. There's been some seeds sprinkled, and I think we're going to see people make that push. Again, I don't ever want to speak for the Board of Education,
Sure,
but I think they know that there's going to be some people in the community that carry that forward, and hopefully we'll get some buy-in from key people and be able to see if we can make that endeavor happen.
How many years did you work with Gil? And now, of course, you're his successor at the TPS.
Gil and I spent nearly every day together for over 9 years.
Wow,
and going to work was always Chris an adventure. It was always a lot of fun, and you better make sure that you keep your mouth closed and your ears open because you're going to learn something, no doubt. Or you'll miss out on a good story because, Gil was quite the storyteller and always had things that were very relatable to people and relatable to the situations that we may be dealing with at the time.
And I'm sure you probably have a story or two you can hopefully share with us about Gil.
Well, I think one of the great stories that I'll always remember, it was a Friday night, we were at or Thursday night at a Bishop Kelly football game. It was Edison playing at Bishop Kelly. And it was in a time in education where some of the trends were changing, and Dr. Ballard had presented an idea that he said, you know what, I really think we ought to consider going to year-round schools. And Gil gave him a quick opinion that made him spin around and take notice. And I won't use those words on the air, but I will tell you, you didn't want to ask Gil his opinion because you were going to get it whether you liked it or not. And so I'll never forget that because I walked away from that conversation thinking, oh my God, we just started and we're going to be fired by next week. So, but we didn't, and Gil had a great relationship with Dr. Ballard, and that was someone that he had a great respect for. Not to mention they shared the same birthday.
Oh, so, wow.
Dr. Ballard and Gil, two people that also mentored me along the way, and were great guys to work with.
And what a transformation under Gil's leadership we've had in facilities, especially in the TPS.
Well, and again, I think that ties in. Not only you can't mention that era of our athletic period without Dr. Ballard, because so much of that was those guys worked on those things together. They had great foresight to know that we needed to do some things different, and Gil came in at a time when we needed some leadership and some guidance and his expertise, and I think the stars were aligned for us to get some things done in order to improve our athletic facilities and our programming.
Now, on a personal note, you longtime viewers of our Oklahoma Sports Scene show, it's been going for years and years and years now. In fact, this is our 258th show we're taping today, I think it is, Nick. But he was such a great part of that. It's just so natural, and always enjoyed working with him. And of course, he also worked and hosted your Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we've got a clip from that kind of underscores what Gil Cloud is all about. It's all about the kids.
I want to say in this last 15 seconds, I want to thank everyone who has supported our program through the years that we've been here. I don't know if this will be my last show or not, but it could be. And so if so, support high school athletics. Get out and be in your community. And when those stadium light comes on in the fall, make sure you're there to support our kids.
Says it all with Gil Cloud, doesn't it?
It does. Again, what a legacy he leaves.
Yeah.
And again, I just hope that somehow I've been able to fill his footprints and fill in his shoes, and Chris make some of the impacts that he's done and continue to make him proud. I had that conversation with Matt Cloud, his son, who's the athletic director at Tahlequah Public Schools, and we've learned so much from Gil, and I'm just so happy that the family has been able to let me share and spend time with him as well.
Mick, talk about the number of schools. I know it's 9 Tulsa public high schools, but there are other schools involved, and not just athletics, but activities as well.
Well, all activities, and again, across the board, whether it's our 9 high schools, our 10 middle schools, or our 40-plus elementary schools, which we lean in and help with physical education. There's a lot of moving parts, and we've got a lot of folks that are providing good leadership, whether it's Dr. Johnson or Dr. Dodd, just allowing us to do our jobs and to do it right, and to make the best impact we can on kids. And so it's not always easy, but we're always going on our end, and as far as the athletics, always try to act in the best interest of our kids, no doubt.
Mick Olson, our TPS athletic director, activities as well, and reached the point now where we're winding down the winter sports. How's the winter season been for our TPS schools?
Well, we just wrapped up swimming last week, and we had some state qualifiers and some finishers. Didn't come away with any state champions, but we had a couple second place finishes, and we're excited about that. Again, wrestling, our girls wrestling continues to make the impact, and we had some high placers in girls and boys wrestling. And of course, now we're really getting ready to flex our muscles because our basketball is coming to the forefront, both girls and boys. And again, what's exciting this week is we have 5 boys teams playing for for 4 spots to go to the state tournament on the east side. So it's been my goal this year to see if we can lock up all 4 spots on the east side in 5A boys basketball and 2 spots in the girls, and we're close to being able to do that, Chris. So great coaches, great players, and our programs are really continuing to thrive in basketball.
Give us an update on a couple of the new sports. Girls wrestling, they said, is the fastest growing high school sport in America, in the nation, and flag football, you're kind of ahead of the curve in flag football with Tulsa Public Schools.
Well, you know, Chris, flag football started with an idea. I was sitting on the couch a couple of years ago on a Sunday afternoon watching NFL football, and I kept seeing these commercials come up about girls flag football, and basically I said I want to do that. Yeah. I would like to do that for our kids. And so I brought the idea to my Deputy Director of Athletics, Crystal Marquardt, which I'm sure you'll be talking to soon.
Yeah.
And I had a former partnership with Donald Driver, former NFL player, and he's big on flag football. And so we just started meeting and getting those ideas together. And I tell you what, Chris, it was an unbelievable season, a storybook ending, an unbelievable state championship between Booker T and East Central, and probably had as many fans there as we've had in a long time of attend any type of event. And it was bands and the whole 9 yards, and would love for you guys to see some clips of that sometime. But it just ended up being such a great thing that happened, and it was really enjoyable, and it was nice to see a dream come true, so to speak, and especially for our girls. And we had some girls that have already signed scholarships this year to attend and play collegiately next year.
Well, visit with Gil's wife, Vicky, who's almost 60 years they're married.
Yes.
Like that. Gosh, and his grandkids were there, and of course his brother Matt and stuff, his son Matt, and just a great family. And I just hope we could all go like Gil did. He said very peacefully, right?
We went very peacefully, and again, I know that just so much respect for the family and what they do, and just appreciate them allowing me to be part of the memorial, part of some of the planning of what they wanted done, and I can't thank them enough for just again letting me be a part of Gil's life for so long.
You'll be proud of you too, Mick. Great job.
Thank you,
my
Chris.
friend. Appreciate it, buddy. TPS, get out and support our TPS athletics and activities here in the city. Come right back with FC Tulsa about to kick off their soccer season. We have a special guest straight ahead.
The Remington Park Casino is always open for jackpot gaming. The winning action never ends. Enjoy great food and drinks in the Bricktown Brewery, open daily at 11 a.m. Simulcast racing is offered every day, featuring North America's best tracks. Visit the Club Remington desk for player card membership and begin earning points and rewards. The jackpots are always flowing. The next one could be yours at Remington Park.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
It's that time again, Tulsa. Your Tulsa Oilers indoor football team is back. Season kicks off Saturday, April 19th at the BOK Center, where your Oilers look to take down the San Antonio Gunslingers. Let's pack the house and start some ruckus. Season tickets start at just $9 per month with all home games on Saturdays. Experience the lightning-fast, hard-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Saturday, April 19th. Join the Oilers action.
Well, soccer fans, about your time. FC Tulsa kicks off its season this weekend on the road in Phoenix. One of the star players, one of the new guys you want to meet and be able to support this year. This guy is going to be a heck of a job on the defensive side. All 6'5", Lamar Batista. Lamar, good to have you here, buddy.
Thank you.
Give us something about your soccer background.
I mean, I've been playing all my life, growing up since I was a kid.
Where was home for you? Where'd you grow up?
Oklahoma City.
Okay, that's
actually.
right.
So
Right.
just
Yeah.
up the road or down the road.
So it brought you back home here.
Yeah, it did.
Good
yeah,
deal.
Luckily.
And your professional career, when did you start that?
Started it. I'm on my 9th season, so I started
Wow,
in 2017. 2017. Yeah.
I know you had a big part in the success there at North Carolina. Talk about the season there.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's a good experience. I grew to really love North Carolina and living out there. Battled a few injuries here and there, but overall played a good amount and was pretty happy with my season.
Started 21 of 22 matches for North Carolina. They made the playoffs there. That's a big push for FC Tulsa. We were so close last year. Hope to get over the hump here. And of course, you have a new head coach here, Luke Spencer. Some of your thoughts on the coach and some of the team right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a good job on recruiting. Solid group of guys. The coach has a style of play he wants to go with, and he's very demanding, and everyone's bought in. So I'm excited to see what we can do this year. Our
preseason just wrapped that up. We came back from a couple of goals down to earn a 4-4 draw, and that was the 27th. On the 27th, the club unbeaten at home in the preseason, and finished with a 3-1-1 preseason record. So something to build on. It sounds like give guys a chance to get together some.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we've talked about, trying to remain undefeated at home, just to build that, make winning a habit here in Tulsa. So hopefully we can carry that through the season.
And as we talk here to our defender here, Lamar Batista, who is, again, all 6'5" of him. It's got to be a real advantage on that back line, I think, Lamar.
Yeah, I can help. Helps out a bit with aerial
How's
goals,
your vertical,
especially.
too?
Vert's not bad. Played basketball a bit, too. So.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's such a physical sport. What is the style of play that the fans will be seeing under our new coach Spencer here?
I'd say we'd like to play in the other team's half more than our own half, obviously. I feel like it's a lot easier to score when you're close to the opponent's goal, so that's something we've been working on, getting the ball in dangerous areas and see what we can create.
And as far as strategy, FC Tulsa, and of course so many people who aren't as familiar with the game of soccer don't understand, it's always about the build-up, midfield, through to the front, just then your job to stop it.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, again, we're a very aggressive team, and to have that type of play style, you need solid defenders, good midfielders with engines, and creative attackers. And I think they did a good job of bringing all those type of players in. So,
give us the idea on the back line. Who's with you, and then more importantly, who's in the net to make anything up in case you miss one there?
Who's in the net and who's in the back line? We're still not sure, believe it or not. It's a very competitive group, full of I think we have about around 22, 23-ish players. Just got another new player in actually. So. Whatever lineup he puts out, I'm confident will be the best lineup, and whoever doesn't start, comes off the bench, is there to help as well. So there shouldn't be a drop-off with whoever he puts out.
And a trip to Phoenix to get things started this season here, so hoping some warm weather out there for you.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah, hoping so.
Then a week from Saturday, the 15th of March, FC Tulsa returns home to host the Tampa Bay Rowdies at One Oak Field, downtown Tulsa. And then, what's incredible, 4 straight home matches. Take a look now at FC Tulsa's schedule there. Talk about the competition there. It starts with an old friend of the NASO franchise, the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah. I mean, that should be a good group. I'm excited to open up against them. They're a solid team every year. Historically, they're one of the top teams. So, it's positive for us. We get to play a top team at our home field.
And I know you're looking forward to the match. I got circled March 22nd. North Carolina FC. Your old team comes in, right?
Yeah. No, that's an exciting game, obviously. Lots of friends on that team still that have returned from the past season. But end of the day, we're going to be at home, and we want to try to keep a clean slate at home. So just got to get the job done.
March 28th, then it's Sacramento Republic FC. Another West Coast team comes in April the 12th. Oakland Roots SC. We know much about those squads, or?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, again, teams I've all played before. Sacramento's another team historically. It's pretty solid, so excited to get them at home first and see what they're about. And Oakland's another team from California that's solid as well. So I like that our first few games are all against tough opponents, all teams that made playoffs, I believe, this past season. So
how would you evaluate the USL, the United Soccer League, in terms of the quality? How would that fit in?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is my 9th season, so I started out when I was 18, 19 years old, and from then to now, it's a huge jump night and day. More quality, the age varies more. I was the youngest on the team at the time, and now we have, anywhere from 16 to 35-year-olds still playing. Yeah. So the level's definitely grown, and I'm just excited I've gotten to be a part of it.
I've never known a defender who didn't want to score.
Yeah.
Have you had some goals in your career too?
Yeah, I've had a couple. Yeah, I've had a few. I think my most memorable ones are from my time in San Antonio. My debut, I scored a bicycle kick and a goal from half field on the same match. So
that's a matter of pushing up to get that midline
set
and have a chance.
Yeah. I have to say the goal from half could have been a little bit of luck. So.
Not at all. Well, Lamar Batista. He is 6'5" defender. What's your jersey number? Fans watch
15.
15.
Yep.
So watch your 15 back there and get ready, FC Tulsa fans. Again, the home opener, March the 15th. Tampa Rowdies. They start the season this Saturday, though, out at Phoenix Rising. So got to support FC Tulsa. Lamar, thanks for joining us on your day off. Appreciate it, my friend. Nice to meet you. We'll look forward to the back line there.
Yes,
and at the front scoring some goals, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to come right back with the Remington Park Race Report from Oklahoma City.
The Remington Park Casino is always open for jackpot gaming. The winning action never ends. Enjoy great food and drinks in the Bricktown Brewery, open daily at 11 a.m. Simulcast racing is offered every day, featuring North America's best tracks. Visit the Club Remington desk for player card membership and begin earning points and rewards. The jackpots are always flowing. The next one could be yours at Remington Park.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
The 2025 American Quarter Horse Paint and Appaloosa season at Remington Park begins on March 6th and continues through March 9th. Preparations being made for the last few weeks. Top training races going on. Let's take a look at some of the preseason best performances so far as we move into the season. Turbulent, a paint, was the fastest training race winner of the day on February 17th, better than all the American Quarter Horses as well. An easy victor by nearly 4 lengths, the filly Turbulent is in a trial on opening night for the Oklahoma Paint Appaloosa Futurity. Two-time defending leading trainer Dee Keener has Turbulent, and he also had the fastest training race winner on February 25th in Beltane. By the new hot quarter horse sire Cyber Monday, Beltane won into a 13-mile-an-hour headwind. The top winner on February 26th was Flying Cowgirl 1-2-3. She is trained by Jason Olmstead and won by a half length over the 250 yards with an 18-mile-an-hour tailwind. It wasn't even close on February 27th when Entice Me on a Monday won under a hand ride in a brilliant effort. Also trained by Olmstead, Entice Me on a Monday is being pointed to the Remington Park Futurity Trials in April. Opening weekend at Remington Park, first race will be 6 p.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, March 6th, 7th, and 8th. Then on Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m., March 9th. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sports Scene.
Thank you, Dale Day. And a reminder, you Tulsa baseball fans, it's Driller Fun Fest coming up. That'll be this Saturday at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at One Oak Field, the Tulsa World Driller Fest. Those who purchase tickets get free hot dogs, free sodas, also a chance to run the bases, have a good time there with some activities for the entire family. It's all on Tulsa World Driller Fest, One Oak Field, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, the next week, big show for you next week. Marvin Jones, head football coach of Tulsa Oilers Indoor Football League team, will join us here on the set. And I got a legend for you. Doing a video Zoom call from Dallas with the legendary Drew Pearson, the Dallas Cowboys great receiver, the former, of course, TU All-American. Also have a special treat, the Women's Flag Football League in Tulsa Public Schools. A representative of that, talk about the fast-growing sport here in Tulsa. We'll also talk about FC Tulsa. Their home opener is coming up which is Saturday on the 15th. Have a representative team there. All coming up on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Until then, as I always remind you, be a good sport.